Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
And good evening, welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Bree Isom. Thanks for joining us.
Well, save the date in your calendars as history was made right here in Muncie as the bicentennial torch made its way through Delaware County. NewsLink Indiana's Mallory Wheel has more.
The state of Indiana is celebrating its 200th birthday this fall, and every county is invited to the party. The state torch has been traveling across Indiana and made its way through Muncie today. The event began at the Delaware County Fairgrounds early this morning, where breakfast, photo ops, and interactive exhibits were made available to the public, followed by a special announcement from Mayor Dennis Tyler.
Therefore be it resolved that I, Dennis Tyler, Mayor of the City of Muncie, Indiana, do hereby proclaim September 27, 2016 as Indiana Bicentennial Day in the City of Muncie, Indiana.
Following the national anthem, the mayor lit the torch, signaling the beginning of the relay. The route had over 20 bearers and even ran its way through Ball State University's campus. Telecommunications instructor Stan Sollers was one of those bearers.
I'm very honored. I just bowled over by it because I just realized this morning, oh, I am a part of history this morning. Oh my gosh. So I'm very grateful, and it's just a hoot so far.
This wasn't the only participation that the university had in the torch activities. A group of student multimedia journalists are dedicating an entire semester to covering these relay events. The students are enrolled in an immersive learning course where they are following the relay from beginning to end. Executive Director of the Indiana Office of Tourism Development, Mike Newman, took some time this morning to acknowledge the students.
TCOM School at Ball State University is an amazing asset for the state of Indiana, and we are so appreciative of the leadership that Chris Fluke has provided and the incredible students he has enabled us to use to record every moment of this 3,200 mile journey.
All student coverage and updates on the relay can be found at indianatorchrelay.com. In Muncie, Mallory Wheel, NewsLink Indiana.
And you can follow NewsLink Indiana's coverage of the torch relay on ballstatedaily.com.
The most anticipated presidential debate aired last evening, and with over 80 million viewers, millennials were a key target audience. Ball State found ways to get students interested in the debate. NewsLink Indiana's Alex Kilmer has more.
In Park Hall on Ball State's campus, students gathered to view the first presidential debate, stressing that millennials' votes are just as important as the next.
It's our right, so.
To register to vote this November, visit indianavoters.in.gov.
Well, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump finally faced off last night in the first presidential debate since the primaries. And as expected, many heated words were exchanged throughout the debate. And now NewsLink Indiana's Tony Sandlaben is here to tell us more. Tony, good evening.
Well, good evening, Tanner. Yes, last night's debate certainly reached quite an audience. Initial estimates from the Nielsen Company put viewership at around 81.4 million people. Now, as for the debate itself, very few specifics as far as policy is concerned. Both candidates argued who was more fit to serve as president, with Trump saying he has a better temperament and Clinton touting her experience as Secretary of State. Now, Clinton also pressed Trump often on his remarks about women and minorities, as well as his refusal to release his tax returns. Trump responded by calling out Clinton for her email controversy. She releases her missing emails. Now, there didn't appear to be a clear winner from the debate. Clinton's debate experience definitely showed, as she seemed to end the night with Trump on the defensive. Early on, though, Trump was on the attack, making points on the economy as well as trade and jobs.
So, Tony, who do you think will see the biggest benefit from this debate?
It's really hard to say, especially here today. It's only been 24 hours. Typically, we see some kind of effect a couple of days in advance, couple of weeks in advance. But for this case, it's really hard to say because what we saw was really a microcosm of this election itself. We really have yet to see any firm policy promises from either candidate. It's been a lot of finger pointing, a lot of name calling, a lot of fact checking, not very much as far as what they will actually do when they win the election, whoever it may be. So as far as who's going to see an advantage, really hard to tell, especially 24 hours later.
Now, turning now to the third-party candidates, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson. Do you think we could expect to see any one of them in the debate soon?
At this point, I would say more than likely no. I know Gary Johnson had a lot of momentum coming into this. He got to about 12% or so in the national polls, needing 15 to actually get onto the stage and debate. Unfortunately, he had that Aleppo controversy where he went on.
Messed him up.
Yeah, he went on a national TV, was asked about Aleppo, the center of the Syrian conflict, and he was very unfamiliar with the term. I later came out and said, it was just a misunderstanding, but that really hurt his momentum, didn't really see any growth beyond that 12%, so he didn't quite make it to that debate stage, and we really haven't seen him get any advancement since that point. Now, as far as Jill Stein is concerned in the Green Party, she really hasn't had much success either, especially throughout this. You had Gary Johnson as that third-party guy that seemed to run on the fact that he wasn't, but we have yet to see them emerge. Now, if there ever was a year, though, for a third-party candidate with both of these candidates,
it would probably be
it would definitely be this year.
Yeah. Well, all right, Tony. Thank you so much for that political update there. Turning now to weather. It's been so beautiful the last few days.
No, I agree, but I hear some rain is moving in.
Yeah, I know. But hopefully it might keep the cool temperatures around. So, Nathan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, we had a beautiful day today. I first want to take a look at the time lapse over the last 5 hours over McKinley Avenue. The sunshine was all across the Ball State campus today, making it for a beautiful day. We started out with those fall-like temperatures this morning, then we got to warm up this afternoon. We're currently sitting at 65 degrees with the winds out of the southwest this evening at 6 miles per hour. Those feel-like temperatures are exactly at 65 because our dew points are much lower this evening than they were. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about those cooler temperatures, how long they're going to stick around, the next chance of rain, which is coming over the next couple days. And then, yes, I threw this in here. When will that sunshine ever return back to the forecast? We'll have that all coming up here after a while.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Last night, 2 men at a Muncie store were robbed, and police are now looking for who it is.
And find out what local campground is closing its gate. This and more when we return.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. 2 children involved in yesterday's Amber Alert have been found dead. 7-year-old Liliana Hernandez and 6-year-old Renee Pastor were found in a car after being abducted in Fort Wayne. Their mother, 29-year-old Amber Pastor, was arrested for the murders, and she reportedly parked her car at the Elkhart Police Department. Pastor then told an officer that her children were inside the vehicle dead. An autopsy today revealed that the Pastor is being held in an Elkhart jail and will face formal charges later this week.
Police are looking for the two masked men who robbed the Village Pantry on Jackson Street in Muncie. The robbery occurred at about 9:20 Monday night. The two men made off with about $50 in cash. One of the bandits was wearing a Michael Myers mask and the other one was wearing a Mardi Gras style mask. According to police, the two were described as white males and 6 foot tall and in their late 20s. Police are asking anyone with information to call the Muncie Police Department's Investigation Division at 765-747-4867.
5 men are behind bars tonight in connection with a string of robberies and home invasions that ended in one death. 27-year-old William Joseph Smith was arrested Thursday night after he and another man tried to rob a Muncie apartment. The other man, 26-year-old Scott Gilliam, was shot in the head during the attempt. 4 others, Damian Gins, James Hill, Devontae Moffitt, and Tyrell Montgomery, were arrested on Friday. Investigators believe the men worked in different combinations to commit the robberies.
A popular campground for Muncie locals will be closing its doors. Three Waters Campground, located in Farmland, Indiana, is facing its final days. Val Jones has the story.
Three Waters Campground is a small attraction located about 25 minutes out of Muncie. The campground is known for its pond, where Muncie locals travel on the weekends to do some fishing. Unfortunately, the campground will not be open much longer. The state health department is suing the campground for health and safety violations. Instead of defending the lawsuit, owner Richard Waters is closing the campground altogether.
In the last several owners, the place had growed up. The maintenance hadn't been kept up. It had been pretty much just some of the stuff rotting away. You couldn't even see the highway. You couldn't see the lake from the highway.
According to the lawsuit filed, violations include an improper dumping station, leaky water riser, scattered trash including used appliances, and garbage staged for apparent burning in a fire.
That's kind of where we got to the point where we can't afford to keep it open. It's cheaper for me to just let it be a property.
With the closing of the campground, some residents are worried about what the future has in store for them.
Going to miss a lot of people. It's going to really displace some. I'm not sure where some people are going to go. My children live out on the West Coast, so I'm just going to somehow get there in 30 days.
After 6 years of being ran by Waters, future plans for the land are still unknown. In Farmland, Indiana, Val Jones, NewsLink, Indiana.
The campground was said to bring in about 300 people on weekend nights, mostly from Muncie.
Construction at Emmons Auditorium is still happening and many students are concerned about the accessibility. NewsLink Indiana's Ben Safarbi has more.
Students have been well aware of the gated construction surrounding Emmons Auditorium.
Many Ball State University students have complained about the timing of the construction here at Emmons Auditorium, including the accessibility and the cost of the project.
Assistant of Marketing and Communications at Emmons, Christy Chambers, shared the purpose of the remodeling specifically to the disabled.
We had questions years. Why don't we have this space? Why don't we have restrooms on the main floor? Why don't we have specific reception space?
The estimated $5 million donor-funded renovation holds many improvements to patrons without physical disabilities. Emmons has temporary accommodations for navigations in place, but patron movement for the impaired is still challenging with construction ongoing.
It is difficult to navigate the auditorium right now, we understand that, but at this time there is not a better option.
But the patience of Emmons disabled patrons will be tested during remodeling. The accommodations lacking in-house for the disabled are made up by seating already available, with transportation by elevator.
And we have, like I said, plenty of handicap accessible seats available in absolutely every price level, so that there are plenty of options.
But disabled customers may be limited to only one option for a reaction, content that the wait is over. Ben Safarbi, NewsLink Indiana.
And Chambers added that all renovations will be completed by the fall of 2018. And coming up on NewsLink Indiana, fall is finally here, but can we expect more rain in the future?
Your full weather forecast is up next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
coming.
Check. 1, 2.
Looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
You know, Tanner, the weather's been perfect this week. Not too hot, not too cold, just the way I like it.
Yeah, you know, those fall temperatures, 60s, 70s, have really been kicking in the last week.
Right. So Nathan, tell us what we got to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, guys, we had a great day today overall. Those fall-like temperatures were hanging out with us, making for a beautiful day overall. Currently outside, we're sitting at 65 degrees with the winds out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour, making it feel for a great evening overall. We're back on our way down to 48 this evening. Down to 52, and by the time we reach 4 a.m. is when we're really going to hit the low at 48 degrees. Those winds still light and variable. For the kiddos in the morning, they will need a jacket. A low of 51 degrees in the morning. It will be a chilly start to start the day. By the time they're headed home, expect a high of 64 degrees. However, there are some rain showers that will be hanging out with us, and this is all due to a surface low pressure that'll be moving through the area. You look here, you notice that low will drop down through Michigan, through Indiana, and then it'll make its way over the Appalachian Mountains, bringing us our next chances of precipitation back to the forecast. Stopping here at 1 o'clock, timing this out, clouds will still be moving into the area as of that time. And then, of course, as we progress through time here, stopping again at midnight, you notice that we still have some of the scattered clouds hanging out with us, but those scattered rain showers are what we're really focusing on with this system. And then stopping once again here at 4 o'clock, you notice rain showers still with us well into Wednesday and Thursday. So how much rain are we expecting? Rainfall accumulations a little bit on the aggressive side, not going to lie to you at all here, but we are expecting viewing area this evening. For your day planner tomorrow, expect 62 degrees by noon with the possibility of seeing a few scattered rain showers. Even some thunderstorms are possible for the daytime tomorrow. 62 once again by 6 p.m. and then 55 degrees as we make our way into the evening hours tomorrow. Overall, we do have a pretty decent 7-day forecast. We are tracking those rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. So if you are headed out any of those days, make sure that you're taking the umbrella or some of your rain gear with you. They will be scattered in nature. Friday at 68 degrees will be one of our warmer days as we progress towards the weekend. Now, I do want to bring your attention to the weekend here, because even though we have rain chances on Saturday with a 30% chance of rain, look at Sunday. Partly cloudy skies, but those fall-like temperatures are returning back to the forecast. So if you do like going out to do those fall activities like campfires or hay rides, this is going to be the next week that you want to do that. You don't want to do it going into the weekend. Wait until early next week, because you're going to be able to take it part of those very nice temperatures that we'll have available for us.
Awesome. Nathan DeYoung, thank you for that weather update. Ball State football is putting their 3-1 start behind them. Find out why next.
And Delta Volleyball had a huge match tonight against perhaps the best team in the state. We have your highlights coming up in sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Good evening. Through just 4 games, Ball State football has already equaled its total win from last season. But as Peter Hood tells us, the Cardinals are putting their non-conference success behind them. They have no choice with Northern Illinois coming to town.
Ball State football is off to its best start since 2013. At 3-1 and coming off of a comeback win against Florida Atlantic, the Cardinals are flying high. But the non-conference is behind them now, and the mindset is 0-0 as they begin MAC play.
You know, these games in the past, we have a 24-hour rule, so once those 24 hours are up after the game, you know, we forget about, we put it in the past, we're focused on our next opponent.
I mean, your non-conference, other than bowl eligibility, doesn't really count towards anything. You know, it's good to have some momentum, but, you know, the MAC play is what really matters if you want to win a MAC championship.
The first challenge for Ball State in Mid-American Conference play, Northern Illinois. Now, the Cardinals haven't beaten the Huskies since 2008, but you don't have to remind anyone on this team of that fact. They're all very well aware.
It's the Bronze Star.
Kickoff against the Huskies is set for 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Class 3A number 3 Delta took on 4A number 1 Hamilton Southeastern on their home floor tonight in a huge match. The Eagles came into tonight's match winners of 19 straight. Meanwhile, HSE has won their last 18. Something had to give. Let's check out these highlights. The Delta student section was excited for tonight's match for sure. Picking up in the second set, senior Mackenzie Hinshaw sets up the ball nicely for Lark Jones for the spike. Now in the third, Delta's Chloe Stitt overpowers the Royals defender for the point. Freshman Molly Hunt smashes the ball as it bounces off the defender and is awarded the point for Delta. Delta pulls the upset tonight, winning in 4 sets. Westdale Volleyball is taking on Eastbrook tonight, and the student section is hyped up. Morgan Prater spiked the ball to Eastbrook to get the point for Westdale. Later on in the set, Izzy Mitchell has a spike of her own for a point for Westdale. Towards the end of the match, Ariana Strahan gets a spike herself and an assist from Sarah Smoot for the point for Westdale.
So can you tell us a little bit about how the trophy with Northern Illinois and Ball State is called the Bronze Stall?
Yeah, that's such a weird name, and I heard it was only started recently, a few years ago.
I'm actually not sure how that's started, but
You know, it's kind of a cool tradition between, you know, like
The big
rivalries.
rivalry.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm super excited for the game. I'm in the marching band, so it's going to be a great time there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
It's a
exciting,
fun
yeah,
game.
it will.
All right, well, great, thank you. The Muncie Civic Theater has some new renovations on the way.
And find out where you can belt out your favorite tunes after our show tonight. Your entertainment news is up next.
Thank you. You got a key?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Sure,
I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Sarah Stump with your entertainment news. The show goes on. Muncie Civic Theater has recently launched a $2.5 million campaign in the efforts to restore the theater. The executive board has created the campaign in order to accommodate for new audiences. While still preserving its historic roots, the new renovations will include an improved lobby space, elevators, and new backstage features for performers. Other features will showcase the theater's rich history, such as the visual timeline. Muncie Civic plans to close its doors in May and reopen in the fall of 2017 with the new renovations. If you love to dance, mark your calendars. The first ever monthly dance club will take place at Cornerstone Center for Arts. The event will be held October 1st at 7 p.m. An hour-long lesson of dance will be held, as well as a few hours of open dancing. Featuring many types of dances, such as swing, Latin, and ballroom, admission for the club is $12 per person and $8 for students. Proceeds from the event will benefit Cornerstone Center for Arts. The monthly dance club is a way to learn a new dance, meet new people, and spend an evening with friends. Be Here Now's open mic night will take place tonight from 9 p.m. to 11:59. The club serves as a stop on the Underground Railroad for both local and touring musicians. You can sign up for the event at 9 and the show will start at 10. It is open to music, comedy, poetry, rap, and more. Ticket pricing for the event is free for those 21 and older and $5 for those who are under 21. That's all for your entertainment news. Back to you guys at the news desk.
So, you know, Tanner, the weather this weekend, it
Yeah.
seems like it's going to look up.
Yeah, I
nice
know.
temps all around.
Nice temps, but maybe that chance of rain.
We got that tease today with those temperatures now coming up for tomorrow. Changes are coming to that forecast, but we are tracking cloudy skies, chances of rain to return back to the forecast. So not the best of days, only reaching a high of 64 degrees tomorrow, which beat the 75 degrees that we had today. So overall, looking at the forecast for the next 7 days, chance of rain Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday, but there is hope for early next week as we return back with those partly cloudy skies. So if you like those fall activities, going out to those fall festival activities like those, definitely things to be, again, thinking about for early next week.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Nathan. And that's all for us at NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.